Hi friends, welcome to Big Experience 3 on Good Friday. We are going to talk just a little bit about nature and about leaves for our last experience today. I would encourage you to maybe take a walk with your family if you all have time to do that. And since it's Good Friday, while you're out being a part of nature, stop and think about all the things that God has given us and how beautiful His creation is. And it'd probably be a great time to even take a few quiet moments to pray or be still and just experience what's around you, what God has given us. He's given us so much. And taking a little time to reflect on that on Good Friday is always good. I always like to spend some time in quiet, being very still, so that my mind can focus on, just kind of clear my mind actually, and focus on maybe what God is trying to tell me, just listening to Him with my heart and clearing my mind of everything. So if you go on a nature walk today, you can take time to do that. And you can also collect some leaves. There aren't very many leaves. You won't find them as plentiful as you do in the fall. Leaves are everywhere by the fall because everything has grown and blossomed and all the leaves are on the trees and they begin to fall off the trees in fall. But in the spring, and right now, some of our trees do already have leaves, so you should be able to find some leaves. I'm going to show you a few examples. I have, this is just a fake leaf from the craft store, but this is a plant. It looks a little bit like a real plant. It's not real, but it has leaves, and you can see these leaves are shaped, they're kind of long and thin and kind of shaped like a teardrop maybe. And then there are leaves on trees. I have my tree here and it has leaves on it. They look kind of similar, but they're a little different. So leaves come in every shape and size. And while you're out on that walk, if you can go and do that, then you could collect some leaves. And maybe if you can't go on the walk, maybe you could just go out in your yard and get a few leaves. And if everyone in your family can do that, you can make a family book of this. But we're going to make a leaf rubbing. So I'm going to use today my paper and my clipboard. And I'm going to take my leaves that I collected, and I'm going to put them underneath my paper. I'm going to show you how I'm doing this. I'm going to clip them onto my clipboard because that makes it easier for me. You could tape them down or just hold them down with your hand. I put them on my clipboard, and I'm going to put my paper over the top. And then I'm going to take an old crown I had and peel it. It was already broken and I just need a little piece. So I chose one that was already broken, and I'm going to put my crown flat against my paper, and I'm going to feel for my leaf. I can feel my leaves are right here. And I'm going to rub my crown back and forth across my leaf or my leaves. One would be a leaf if it was singular, but I have more than one in there. I'm going to rub it back and forth across there, and that makes a leaf rubbing. And if you kind of push down a little harder, you can see the outline of the leaf even better. See it coming into view there? You could collect different leaves if you have different kinds in your yard that are already on plants or trees. And you could make different leaf rubbings, and then you could label them. Like mine is a pear, so I would write P-E-A-R because mine is from a pear tree. So you could make a book of leaf rubbings with your family, or you could just make one picture of a leaf that is yours, a leaf rubbing. And if you have more than one, like I said, if your whole family does it, you can make a little leaf rubbing book. But it's a great time to be out and just experience a little bit of the gifts in the nature around us that God has given us, and to be thankful for that. And like I mentioned, if you have time to just be still and know that God is with you. At 3 o'clock today, Father will stream Mass on YouTube for Good Friday. I love Good Friday Mass. It's a beautiful service. It's even better when we can all be together, but we know that we're making that sacrifice right now to keep everyone healthy, and we're not being together. So join us on YouTube, and we can be together in that way. One other activity you can do to finish out our week of seasons and W is you can take the wagon that was attached to the email your parents got. You can cut it out and color it. It's got like a rectangle around it that you can cut out after you color it. And then you can draw something in that wagon that you like to do in the spring. I just like to take a walk, and maybe you could take a walk in your wagon. Maybe you could draw Mrs. Bassmeyer's dog Willow in the wagon. You could either put something that starts with W, like a watermelon or willow, in the wagon, or you could draw something you like to do outside in the spring. Maybe that you would put some flowers in there. Maybe you like to plant flowers. Some people buy flowers at the store and put them in their wagon and roll them around the wagon around their yard and plant their flowers. Anything you want to put in your wagon is just fine. But you could finish out that activity if you have time. And I hope that you have some wonderful family time this weekend. I know we've been getting a lot of family time, but I know a lot of parents are working, and boys and girls, one of the most wonderful things you can do is to be helpful. And I'm so proud of you that you are helping your parents during this time. I see a lot of you helping with your younger siblings or doing things with your older siblings. And or if you don't have any siblings, you're just helping your mom and dad at home and being responsible and just being kind and loving. And I know that always makes God happy. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend, a joyous Easter, and I will see you next week.